Hola, hola, it's your girl Erica from America. Welcome to the Confidence Chronicles podcast. This podcast is all about helping you stand in who you are. Stop giving a fuck what people think about you. Start standing as your fully expressed self. As you are, as is, there is no filter needed. You are fucking awesome, and I am here to remind you. I'm a confidence coach, and I'm a bold stand for confidence, and I cannot wait to dig into today's episode with you. Hello and welcome to the podcast, my friend. How are you? I hope that you are well. I love you. I appreciate you for being here. Like you have no idea. I have basically had 3 hours sleep. And I'm a little bit crazy. I've had 14 coffees this morning already. And yeah, I'm still in lockdown when I am recording this episode, just in case you were interested. And as you know, hopefully, I'm writing my first book, which is coming out at the end of November 2020. Yes, like in 2 months' time from this recording. I cannot believe it. We're almost finished. And I have just been so grateful, excited, stressed out, breakdown, crying, happy, laughing, smiling, fucking all the things, all the feels, all the emotions. Because as I'm writing this book, I'm in lockdown with my fucking kids. And if I hear Moana one more time, I love you, Mr. Dwayne Johnson, but far out. Like that little, you're welcome. I can't do it. I just cannot listen again to that song. It's been hectic. One of the hardest things, and I will definitely be doing a podcast about what I've learned writing my book during the COVID lockdown. But I'm excited for you to get this book. There is going to be a pre-order available, a very bougie-ass, fancy schmancy copy, a VIP. I'm going to be telling you, my incredible podcast listener, about it. I want you, if you can, get your hands on the first copies that launch end of November. I am going to tell you about it. So please stay tuned. Check me out on thequeenofconfidence.com. Head to Instagram where I'll be posting about it, or make sure you sign up to my email list because I will be letting my email people know first, and my sisterhood ladies. So I'm really, really excited. This book is all about how confidence feels like shit. I did an episode on it if you're interested, and how to actually create your confidence and what it really takes. It's the truth about confidence, the sexy or non-sexy truth that nobody wants to talk about, but in reality is what we need to face if we want to truly create and embody our confidence. So I'm pumped about that. And today's episode, one of my beautiful Instagram followers messaged me about it, and she was like, I really want you to do a chat about being indecisive because I've been in this relationship with a narcissist, gaslighting me, all this shit. And now I feel like I don't know what to do with my life. I feel like I need to ask permission 24/7. And I really feel for this topic because I was exactly the same. You know, if you struggle with making decisions and being indecisive and needing to ask other people, I talk about this in my book as well, needing to ask other people about their advice or what they would do, this episode is for you. And as always, if you get something good from this, please tag me, share it with me on Instagram, or share it with a girlfriend who you think needs to hear this shit, right? Thank you. I love you for sharing, by the way. You all share, and I just cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you. So let's talk about why you're being indecisive. Let's talk about it. Let's think about, where does this come from? You know, I know for me in my past, it wasn't my upbringing like with my mother or my lack of father. For me, my indecisiveness came through when I realized, or when I thought I wasn't good enough. When I realized I was flawed. When I started caring about what people were thinking about me, when I started going, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not smart enough, you know, I'm not rich enough, I don't live in the nice part of town, my mother's not normal, air quotes, you know, all of these insecurities started coming out within me. And of course, as you can imagine, I attracted partners into my life that would only highlight those insecurities even more. So then what did this do for me? What it really did for me was it showed me how I was right. You know, how I couldn't make the right decision, how I wasn't smart enough or good enough, how I didn't know what was best for me, how someone else knew better. And really, when we're being indecisive, that's what we're saying. We're saying that I don't know what's best for me. I don't know what to do here. Someone else knows. And in the reality is, if you ask me advice or you ask yourself, I'm going to come up with an answer. You're going to come up with an answer. Who's right? Who's right? It's not about being right. It's about the answer you need for yourself. And who knows more than you about yourself? Even if it's the wrong answer. Even if you do the wrong air quotes thing, which it never is wrong. You needed to do that and you got what you needed to get there. And so when we're constantly outside of ourselves looking for the right thing to do, looking for the answer, we think that somebody knows better than we do. And the fact is our self-belief goes out the window. So you don't trust in yourself, you don't believe in yourself enough to answer your own question or scratch your own itch. So you go outside of yourself. And here's the thing. What if you just went inside and asked yourself and did the thing that you thought and it was wrong? Can you let it be a lesson? Could you let it just go, oh fuck, that was the wrong thing? Okay, cool. No, we make a big deal about it. We make ourselves wrong for it. We make ourselves mean that we're shit. We shouldn't trust ourselves, that we're dumb, that we're this, that we're that. We make a big fucking party about it. And it's a big deal. And it doesn't have to be a big deal. I want you to give yourself permission to do the wrong thing, air quotes, wrong thing. I want you to give yourself permission to make the wrong answer or to pick the wrong choice. Let yourself do that. You'll see what's going to happen if you make the wrong choice or the wrong decision. You will learn from your mistake. It is not a failure. It is never a failure if you learn that that wasn't what you wanted to do. And you can only learn that by fucking it up. You can only learn that by seeing, oh, that didn't work out. That's how I know. If it doesn't work out, that's how you know. It's duality. We need duality. So you have to learn to trust yourself. You have to learn to find your own answers, scratch your own itch, even if it's not the air quotes right thing. How can someone else know what's right for you when you don't even know? Consider that you even trying to trust yourself or you even having a go at it, trying it out, is practice in itself. It's you getting better at it. Maybe you suck at it initially, but after answering your own questions and solving your own problems, you get really good at it. Let me tell you, I am really good at solving my problems. I will rarely go outside of myself. And when I go, I know it's because I've exercised every option, every opportunity in my own mind. I've turned the stone. Okay, what about this? What about this? Nope, now I got to go outside. And even when I go outside, I have enough belief in myself internally that if what they say, whoever I ask, I don't agree with, I go, nah, that ain't for me. Like I'm writing my book, I'm asking my Instagram audience about colors, about images for the front cover. I don't know if we're going to have an image on the front cover or not. I don't know if the image I said we'll have. I don't know if that pink is going to be it. All these questions. And I'm asking them because I believe that it's beautiful to co-create this with my audience, with you. You guys are, hello, this podcast, I make it for you. This episode is for a listener that she asked me about. So I'm not making this for myself. I'm co-creating this with you. But also, I have enough belief in myself. I posted a photo of myself with a black background. And it's not the final photo, but I posted it and I went, book cover, ? And one of my friends messaged me. She's like, man, people are giving you some harsh feedback on that photo. But I'm like, I'm good. I asked for the feedback. I asked, what do y'all think about this? I didn't say, what do you guys think? I'm going to determine it on your answer. I just said, what do you think about this photo? And people told me, and I love that. I love when women were like, I hate this photo. Not, this ain't it. You look harsh. I could see your boobs. I could see up your nose, whatever. Like they have to laugh. Like, don't take it so goddamn seriously. And then at the end of the day, I also don't give a fuck. I will put the photo I want to put. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have enough belief in myself where I will listen to my community and say, thank you for the feedback. But I also go within myself at the end of the day and make my decision. And that is what I'm talking about. Decisiveness requires a ridiculous amount of self-belief, a ridiculous amount of confidence in yourself, a ridiculous amount of knowing who the fuck you are and what you're not. And you can't get that if you don't practice it. You will never get to that level, this level where I'm at, about how decisive I am about my shit. You won't get there. And remember, I wasn't. I remember being married to my first husband, the one who passed away. And Gio was in Iraq and I wanted to buy some furniture. Oh, I gotta ask Gio. Gio was in Iraq with bombs going off where he was. I was not going to be able to ask him. And do you know when he called me from the Sprite factory in Kuwait or Iraq, there's bombs going off. And he's basically trying to tell me he's alive. And I'm like, I got to buy these couches. And he's like, just do whatever you want. Just do it. I don't know. You do it. Like, I'm like, man, seriously. I would always want to ask permission. And what do you think? And what do you think? Why? Because I was worried about getting it right. I was worried about being liked. I was worried about not doing the wrong thing. seeking approval, seeking validation. We just did a podcast on that. It's an amazing podcast. If you haven't listened to Why Are You Seeking or Are You Seeking Validation with my husband and I, please go listen to it. Hamish, it's incredible. And that was part of it. So all of this stuff that I talk about, by the way, stems together. It all lives in the same family, the same tree of self-belief, the same tree of self-confidence, the same tree of believing in you and owning who you are and what you want and being decisive about your life. It's your life. You get to decide. And the flip of that is, it's your life. You get to fuck it up. It's your life. You get to make the wrong decision. Then you got to bear that. Then you got to fix that up. No one else is responsible for your life. And mothers out there, if your kids are doing some shit and you're not happy about it, it's also their life. They're responsible for that. The minute they come out of your body, they are not your responsibility. I'm sorry. And we struggle with this, but it's true. You put enough into them and trust that they know what they need to do. Because the reality is we can't control other people's lives. And we can't demand and ask and expect other people to give us answers about what to do in our life. And if you've been used to that, become aware of it. My beautiful listener who sent me this is obviously aware that she is always asking others what to do because she's indecisive. She's aware of that. Now, what I would say to her, stop telling yourself you're indecisive. Stop that. Maybe in the past, maybe 5 minutes ago you were indecisive, but stop calling that to your future. When you say, I lack confidence, I am this, I am that, I talk about it all the time and I'm going to keep harping on about it because if you continue to tell yourself who you are, you're going to call that shit into your future. Do you want to keep being indecisive? No. So stop telling yourself that you are. When you negate yourself, when you box yourself in as, I am an indecisive woman, and you telling me you want to not be, I don't know how that's going to be possible when you yourself keep boxing yourself into that bullshit. So decide now, you know what? No, I am decisive. And my first fucking decisive decision is going to be to stop calling myself indecisive. That's great. Watch how your shit changes when you see yourself differently. When you start speaking about yourself differently, you start calling into a future something else coming, something else that you want. What do you want? As Abraham Hicks says, what do you want? You want to be decisive? Start telling it how you want it. Stop telling it how it is. Abraham Hicks talks about it all the time. Tell it how you want it to be. You know, I am on my way to learning how to be decisive. You know, I will make a decisive decision or whatever. I am decisive. I know what I want. I will let myself make a bad decision and learn from that mistake. Like, that's powerful. That is so powerful. You don't need to go back and understand why you're indecisive. If you want to do that work, feel free. Don't get caught up in that bullshit though. The reality is you've identified that you are indecisive and that you seek outside approval and that you seek other people to make answers for you and that you seek their approval and their validation. Cool. You've identified that. Now what? Now what are you going to do? Now it's time to get to work and you need to start making decisions and fucking some shit up. Because if you don't, you will never get through that for yourself. You have to let yourself mess up. You have to let yourself mess up. You don't get to go, I'm decisive and confident and amazing without letting yourself mess up. Are you kidding me? Of course you have to fall down. That's like me being like, I'm going to learn how to walk perfectly when I'm a newborn baby all the way till I'm 5 years old and I'm never going to fall and cut my elbow. And I'm never going to hit my chin on something. I'm never going to fall because I'm the best toddler. I'm the best kid walker in the whole wide world. That never happens. P.S. Everybody falls down when they're learning how to walk. Everybody falls down when they're learning how to become more confident. Every single woman, all the time. I'm still having breakdowns. I'm still having imposter syndrome about my new book coming out. All of that shit is still happening. It's happening at a higher level and I'm aware of it and I'm not engaging with it. I'm seeing it and then I'm choosing not to engage with it. But it still happens. I still have crazy thoughts in my mind about how I'm not good enough and how I'll never make it to be that Tony Robbins, fucking female Tony Robbins. But I don't engage with that bullshit. I watch it and I'm like, look at that. That's bullshit. I don't let it overcome me and become my reality. So stop telling yourself you're indecisive. Let that story go for one. And for two, start making some decisions. If you're scared, make little ones. What am I going to eat today? It sounds ridiculous, but some women literally don't. Like, that is a big decision. What am I going to cook myself for dinner? What am I going to wear today? Where do I want to go on vacation? What do I want to do with these $20 in my wallet? What kind of furniture do I want to put in my house? What color should I paint my wall? These things are huge when you've been in relationships that have been abusive, like verbally, physically, mentally, spiritually, energetically abusive, financially abusive. That's a big fucking decision. Let yourself work that shit out. I hope you're journaling. If you're listening to this podcast, hopefully you've heard about me talking about that. Catch your behavior. Just pay attention to it. You're the detective of your own life. You need to be the motherfucking Sherlock Holmes of your own life. Ooh, look what I just did. Why did that happen? That's interesting. Write that shit down. Little clue. Write it down. Cool. I keep doing that behavior. That's interesting. Okay, how do I stop that? What do I need to do? I'm scared of this. I should go do that. I'm scared to do it that big. I'll do a little step. Progress, my love. Movement. Progress. Action. Step by step. That's how we shift and change. It's not some overnight fucking bullshit. And it's not something that you can't do. You can. It's not can you, it's will you? Will you try? Will you put yourself out there? Will you fail? Will you let yourself learn from the mistakes? It's not can you. Of course you can. Of course you can. So decisiveness. Learn how to start making decisions. Big, small, it doesn't matter. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. The more confidence you're going to get at it. And if you fuck up, which you will, you'll go, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. I will change it. And if it's a big fuck up, even better. Even better. Because you'll go, cool, let me clean this shit up. You become resilient. This is how you grow this muscle of becoming confident and decisive. This is how you do it. Cool? I love you. Thank you for this question. Thank you for this recommendation. Thank you so much for when you guys tell me podcasts and topics that you're interested in. I have so many topics that, as I always say, like I just, there's so much that I want to talk about on this podcast. And I feel like I don't ever have enough time in the world to record. I wish I could do a podcast every day. I really, really want to talk. Recently, it's come up in my sisterhood group about our menstrual cycle and about our sexuality and about our hormones as women. And these are topics I realize I haven't talked anything about these topics. And a lot of the fact is I don't know it in depth. And I want to get some people on the podcast that can talk about this stuff. I'm really excited. I'm pumped. I love this work. I love that you're here. I love that you resonate with my podcast. I love that you choose my podcast to listen to. You guys, I'm about to enter this Australian Podcast Awards, and I'm so pumped. And I want to give a shout out to Brianna and Alex and Deb from Bambi Media. I fucking love you guys. They hook up my podcast. They're my production team, my media team. They are incredible. If you have a podcast, you need to hit them up. Brianna at Bambi Media on Instagram. She's the bomb. I'm just excited. I'm excited for this year. I know that 2020 has been fucking crazy, but also there's a lot of gifts in this shit. And when you start doing this work, you start finding the gifts. You start finding the why this is happening. You start looking for, you just start looking for the good in shit, even though it's hard. And so I really love you and I honor you. And I just want to say thank you for being here. And I cannot wait to talk to you in the next episode. I love you. If you're listening to this podcast, I know that you are so ready to change your life. And I want to let you know that I've recorded this incredible 60-minute free audio training called What It Really Takes to Change Your Life. It's 4 steps to changing your life. I know a thing or two about transformation. As I've told you in my podcast, I had a bad past with lots and lots of trauma, lots of crazy shit happened in my world. And for me to be living where I am, how I am, making 6 figures, having a gorgeous husband, beautiful family, loving my life, loving my work, and creating the abundance that I have right now with the past that I was faced with is actually crazy. So trust me when I tell you that I got you and I understand what it's like to change your life. It is not easy. There's a lot of hard work that's going to go into it. Blood, sweat, tears, you name it. We've done it. But I want you, if you are interested in actually getting some shifts, actually changing your life, to listen to this free audio training. You can head to the show notes. It's in there. You can head to my website, thequeenofconfidence.com. It's on the homepage, ready for you. Grab a pen and paper and let's get into the damn thing. I know you're going to love this training. Thank you so much for listening. I so appreciate your ears, your time, your energy, and your attention. Please do me a favor and head over to Apple iTunes, subscribe so that you don't miss an episode, share this episode with a sister who you know needs to hear it, and if you feel called to, leave me a review. I'd love to know what you think about the podcast. I'd love to know how this information is helping you change your world. Thank you so much for being here. I know that there are many podcasts you could listen to, and I really appreciate you listening to mine. Have a gorgeous week, honey.